So the other day I was out with Abigail and the kids, and we went to the grocery store, and Abigail is the one that's responsible for doing the stroller while I have the cart. And I was giving her several instructions, and she was not following my instruction. And I was getting very frustrated because I'm just like, what is the deal? Like, I would tell her, go to the left, go to the right, and she would just do her own thing. So we get home, and once everything was settled, I was like, Abigail, what was going on today? Like, why were you having such a difficult time following my instruction? And she was like, well, mommy, when you told me to do something, I thought you meant something else. And I was just like, well, when I told you what to do, you repeated it back to me, and then you still did something else. Why would you do that? She was like, well, I just figured you were thinking about doing it a different way. I was just trying to figure out what you were trying to say. And I was like, you don't have to figure anything out. What I said is what I meant. Just follow the instruction. And I was just thinking about how we do that with God. Like, He gives us an instruction. It's a very clear instruction. We repeat it back to Him. We know the scriptures. Forgive. We know, honor your father and mother. We know, whatever the case may be. And we still take it upon ourselves to do what we think He means. It's almost like we don't believe what He says, and so therefore when it's a situation that's inconvenient or doesn't make any sense, we're like, that's not what it means. Like, it can't possibly mean to take this job or not take this job, or He couldn't possibly mean to forgive this person, or there's no way that I'm gonna move to this place or write that book. And it's like, no, I gave you the instruction. Follow what I'm saying. And I want to encourage you, don't allow yourself to do extra work of trying to figure out what God means. Just do what He says. Because a lot of times when we try to figure it out on our own, we end up doing things that, one, He never said to do, and then we end up with consequences that we could have avoided had we just trusted Him. I think about Sarah and Abraham. God told them that they were going to have a son, and Sarah decides she's getting too old, so God must not be mean to use her, and add someone else. Someone else enters the chat. And then they have Ishmael, and then there's these whole issues between Sarah and Hagar and all that stuff. I think about when Samuel told him, when you go up to defeat this country, make sure that everybody is destroyed, animals and people. But Saul decides, I'm going to save the best for God. And it ends up costing him the kingdom because of his prideful heart. It is not worth their time and effort to try to figure out what it is that you think that God might mean, as opposed to just listening to what He says and doing that, as difficult as it is. So take God at His word and trust that what He says, He means, so that He can do what He wants to do through you.